And out here, the preacher out, the new intro, baby. But Reinier the Ritter got so badly exposed last night by Brendan Allen, and he quit on the stool. And there's going to be a segment of why he quit on the stool in this video. But absolutely limbs. Top 20, UFC fight night of all time last night. I fucking loved it. I thought it was a great card. So many knockouts, really, really entertaining fights. Kevin Holland, man, you will forever disappoint me. You will forever disappoint me. 6 years I've been waiting for you to really get into gear, but you just haven't. But we're going to talk about Reinier the Ritter in this fight. Reinier the Ritter quit. Reinier the Ritter quit. He gave up on that stool. He wanted no part of the fifth round against Brendan Allen. But the part that kind of like actually pisses me off is that Reinier the Ritter looked unbelievable in the first round. Reinier the Ritter looked like he was going to breeze through Brendan Allen. I thought he was going to breeze through Brendan Allen. If you know Brendan Allen, you know he's one of the fighters that you just cannot bet on. You cannot bet on. He just throws away so many fucking fights to where I'm just like, bro, you could be the number one contender right now. You could have. I will never forgive you for that nasty Nimavov fight. You for some reason decided to stand with Chris Curtis. You just have so much potential, but you just fuck it away. Okay, why were you shooting so much on Imavov when you were winning on the feet? It forever blows my mind. But Brendan Allen made actual adjustments. Brendan Allen made serious grappling heavy approach in this fight, which in turn really benefited him. I thought there was going to be more striking, and I thought maybe the grappling these guys might cancel out, and I thought that's where the Ritter was going to have a lot of success. The later the fight went on, I've seen Allen gas out in three rounders. His cardio improved so good, so good, so much over the last year since he fought Imavov, and he went through that war with Vittori. He didn't gas out there. I suppose he kind of looked tired because of how much shots he was taking and stuff like that. So I'm not really too fussed about that. But Allen, I've seen him gas out live, and you know, it's just the small things about Brendan Allen. It seems like whenever he thinks he's winning the fight, he's like, "All right, fuck it, let me just fuck this up. Let me try some mad shit," and he just does stupid fucking mistakes that just cost him being the number one contender. Hamzat Shemaev absolutely burns through this division. That's one thing I learned last night. That this division is just completely dead. Like, it's just not even competitive. I'm just sitting there and I'm like it's cool having these matchups. And Brendan Allen called out Drickus. It also seems like Brendan Allen has beef with fucking everybody walking the planet. He was swinging at Vittori in a fucking casino. He was going at fucking Chris Curtis. He is beef with Drickus Duplessis. Now, in fairness, Strikers and him have had beef for like a long time. I'm not one bit surprised. That just seems like a character clash. Yeah, I would love to see Brendan Allen versus Dricus Duplessis. I would love to see it. I feel like Allen could get Dricus Duplessis down. I don't know if Allen beats him. I feel like Dricus would be a bit too kind of weird on the feet, and I haven't seen Dricus gas out to the level Allen did. No, Allen did four heavy rounds of grappling where the first round in this fight he was extremely defensive. Like the Ritter had got an incredible trip to get him down in the first. He was able to get mount and he was able to get the back and kind of ride it out there. Didn't really look like he had an incredible submission coming out. It didn't look like he was getting a rear naked choke because we never see rear naked chokes now. They're extremely rare. People are getting too good at defending them. Same with arm bars. Arm bars are never ever going to happen in MMA. And I thought the Ritter, I thought it was like a textbook win. I thought, right, he's just going to kind of, keep up these positions. He's going to be able to get trips. Allen's kind of short notice. He'll slow down later on, and that's when he'll be able to get the finish. But Brendan Allen just went fucking psycho and just started. I feel like a part of it is as well that the Ritter gassed out. So on screen here, you can see the Ritter's tweet why he gassed out. He had some, norovirus or some shit like that. He had a broken hand in the first round. So there were reasons why it wasn't a case of he just completely gassed out because he's a fucking bum or something like that, or he wasn't he took it. It wasn't like it was the other way around. Like Allen was one who was meant to be fighting Fluffy. Later took it on short notice, and we can all sit here and say he looked gassed because it was short notice. But if it wasn't, he would have won. It wasn't the case at all. It just wasn't simply not the case. It was the complete opposite. I feel like for Allen, this is a great step in the right direction. You look like you're learning from your mistakes, but I just wonder he could beat Imavov. He could beat Anthony Hernandez 29-28 in a close fight. And he should have beaten Imavov, in my opinion. He'll probably see the thing is Drickus is such a shit style. I'm calling Drickus shit. I don't even care. Drickus is so Allen might be able to just hold him down. Because we've saw Drickus' weakness, which is just, the grappling. He can get held down. And To say he can get held down is an understatement. He can get fucking ground. Allen has got good offensive, wrestling. He showed good defense as well, submission defense. The Ritter wasn't really able to get much on him. The thing that shocked me, and I guess you could say the thing that disappointed me the most is the Ritter wasn't taking damage. Do you know what I'm saying? The Ritter wasn't necessarily taking damage in this fight. He was gassed. I don't really care. You have a broken hand in the first round. I'm really just not going to lie here. I don't really care because if you want to be a champion and you want to beat Hamzat Shemaev, being tired with a broken hand is not really going to do much, especially when you're fighting someone like Allen. He wasn't taking damage. Like, Allen wasn't landing vicious elbows. Allen wasn't landing vicious ground and pound. He wasn't this close to getting his submission at any point in the fight. He just kind of seemed to be doing well and with the grappling. He started to take over and he started to dominate. And I feel like maybe the Ritter, maybe there was a late finish coming on for Trudeau. I didn't necessarily see that the whole fight. And that's why I'm just like, the Ritter, man, he looked fucked though. He looked so fucked. Even the third round, I remember watching it, I was like, he's slowing down big time here. And then at the end of the fourth, he was like lying on the ground for like 30 seconds, and Jason Herzog was like, "Get back!" He was, and you can't touch a fighter when he's on the ground, and just gave up, which is just like he's given up before, but I feel like that. I'm pretty sure that fight was at like heavyweight, which is insane. It's not like. We saw that guy. Remember that guy who took a short, I think it was short notice, and he got his debut in the UFC, and he was just getting his shit kicked out of him, and he quit on the stool in the Apex. This is not like that at all. That dude was taking shots. Like, that guy was literally on the verge of brain damage. Like, I can kind of see it. Me personally, I think like if you're in that cage, you know exactly what you're getting yourself into. You need to be in there. If you're in that cage, you cannot give up. You can't. Now, there is a case of your own safety, but you're a fucking UFC fighter. Like, if you're in that cage, you clearly don't really care about your own safety. You know what I mean? You're fucking getting in there to scrap. And for the Ritter, I'm just like, you weren't taking damage and you were just kind of tired with a broken hand. I get you had a broken hand, but throw up a triangle. Throw a fly, a jumping front knee in the round. Try go out there and just do something. Throw like a head kick at the start of the round and see if you can get Allen. Do you know what I mean? Throw an uppercut as he's coming in. Throw something just to see if you can catch him and he goes down. But he just didn't. That's what he just didn't even try, which kind of pisses me off to the point where I'm like, and this is the. I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, his career's over. This is the end." I don't really want to say that because I don't like saying fighters' careers are over. Listen, and before anyone in the comments is like, "Oh, well, you're not a UFC fighter. You're not a UFC fighter, man. You wouldn't get above that fucking stool." If you're getting in that cage, you are literally asking people to judge your performance. And if you quit on the stool, that's not a knock. I'm literally just saying what I saw. What everyone saw. Okay? I don't necessarily think this is the end of Derrida's career. But I don't necessarily see you getting a belt with that mentality. And especially when Hamzat Shemaev is the champion. You need to be relentless. In fairness to Brendan Allen's never shown me that he's a quitter. I don't believe he is. He's gone through wars. You know what I mean? He's fucking fought through when he's gassed out and stuff like that. He went through an absolute hell scrap with Marvin Vettori. He gassed out in the first round and gets involved and stayed to do the full 3 rounds and could probably fucking should have won the fight if he kept standing, but he just kept spamming takedowns. That's what I'm saying. I just can't bet on Brendan Allen. I picked him to beat Anthony Hernandez as well, and I just can't bet on Brendan Allen because he's fucking such shit fight IQ. I have always said how highly I rate Brandon Allen. I rate him so highly. He's got really good striking and really good grappling, but he's just so fucking stupid. He's so fucking stupid, but this card was unbelievable. I loved it. It was a decent enough fight. Really interesting to see. Matchmaker Monday, I'm going to break down both of these guys' next fight. Find out tomorrow who Reinier the Ritter is going to fight next.